Hey, IBX Toycat. I hope you are having a lovely Sunday evening because I am playing Minecraft Dungeon. More seriously, this is a Let's Play stream. It's going to be a chill and play Minecraft one, but perhaps the most chill and play Minecraft I've had in a while. I'm going to be honest with you, my voice is a little hoarse. I had a surprise, I had a better than expected evening last night, which meant I had a worse than expected morning this morning. And yeah, I'm excited to talk to you all about it. But yeah, it's Easter. It's an exciting day. I feel like Easter is one of those holidays where you have no expectations, so everything is a positive. There's no like, oh no, this didn't happen. You know, there's the everything good that happens on Easter is a fun little bonus. And so yeah, I got myself, chat. I got myself an Easter egg, but it's a fun Easter egg because it's made from crunchy. I want to show you this if I can. There's little crunchy pieces in the Easter egg. I always dreamed of this as a kid. You ever feel ripped off when you see like, oh, it's a Kinder Surprise Easter egg? But it's not that it's actually a giant Kinder Surprise. It's an Easter egg with Kinder Surprise in the middle. Whereas an Easter egg that's actually crunchy is amazing. Anyway, hello everyone. Good to see you, Dan Marsh. Good to see you, Topping Apple. Good to see you, Dashy. Drink something with ginger and honey. It's not a bad idea, actually. So, if you are curious as to what we're doing in today's live stream, I'm going to be draining my ocean monument slightly further than I have already. Right now, this is a drained ocean monument. For the first... I started this project in 2015, and so 10 years later... It was actually December 2015, so 9.5 years later, if we're being a little technical. But 9.5 years later, 10 calendar years later, we've ended up in a situation where it's now complete. Do you see that weird darkness over there? Why is it dark on that wall, but not dark on any of the other walls? There's gotta be a reason for that, right? Anyway, so... Chat, why is that? I don't know. Anyway, so I've now drained this. It's great, but it's not actually quite finished because I realized that one of the corners that I wouldn't say I cut, but one of the ways that I made this not quite perfect is I approximated a square. So I built 4 blocks in front of the ocean monument on the front. But on the back, I just went 1 block behind because it's so deep back there. And now today I'm going to be making this an actual perfect square, which means moving that entire wall of sand back a good few blocks. I'm going to need a lot of sand to do this, but it'll be a lot of fun. Have you studied philosophy, or do you just like to think? The thing is, right, I don't understand. Even if I studied philosophy, wouldn't I like to think too? It's funny, a lot of people describe these streams as philosophy and chill. I'll describe this stream as, philosophy in Minecraft if we feel like doing that, right? But, the reason that many people find that to be so interesting is because, like, well, that isn't the standard, Philosophy and Minecraft are not the usual mix. Or indeed, a lot of people don't have philosophical conversations that frequently as it is. Also in Canada, they were actual giant Kinder eggs. Ah, I'm feeling cheated now. But yeah, Vartelli, I think that I think most people should spend more time thinking than they probably do. It's one of the true, like, problems that we have is that there are so many pressing day-to-day issues, and I'm not immune from these, either. I don't think anyone is immune from the day-to-day issues that you face in life. But, because there are so many day-to-day issues, it's hard to have, like, the deeper thoughts about, like, what is good? And that's one of the, like, the real takeaways you should have from philosophy is, like, thinking about, like, what is life, to me. You have this finite quantity of a resource that is infinitely valuable, Like, if you were to take someone who's worth $1 billion and tell them for 999 million, like an insane amount of money, they could live 1 extra year. If they are about to die, they will take that. If you said it was for 1 extra day, they would take it. Like every other resource is dependent on this one resource to enjoy. Yeah, like, so working out how do you spend this resource, working out what do you do with it, or what is the point of you having it to begin with. It's one of the most important but under-thought of questions, because you got to deal with questions that are like, well, what am I eating for dinner? I don't actually know, chat. I had like one of my favorite meals of the year yesterday. Actually, I want to talk about it because it's one of the weirdest stories of something that I was like in my mind. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be, like, I feel like meeting people is always like a like a stressful thing. Not stressful, but like it's hard, right? Like you never know how it's gonna go, etc. But it's so it's always a relief when it goes like actually well. So rewatch Interstellar just now. Terrific movie. Oh, good. That's a good one, Dasher. I think I want to rewatch it now that I've seen the rest of Christopher Nolan's catalog. See how it like feels by comparison. It's a real good, yeah, like thinky movie. I guess it could be. I actually, okay, chat. So I'm a real big believer in this idea that everything that we think of as being some deep human function actually can probably be described by some, like really basic, what's the word, like physiological reaction. Like, you can think that you're so angry in something so serious, but it's like, oh no, you're hungry, so you're mad. And it's like, yeah, well, you get mad when you're hungry, because, like, understandably, your body is trying to make you deal with the imminent concern. Because if you don't deal with the imminent concern of I am hungry, eventually you die. Like, it's a really basic thing that we can make so deep. You can get so caught in your head about like how mad you are when it's like, yeah, actually you just need to have a bite to eat or something, right? So yeah, this is the plan. We're gonna move the entire wall back one. It should actually be a pretty chill project, and it should be a pretty short project. But yeah, we'll have a little chill time because it's Easter. Also, happy 420, says Kate Murphy. Happy 420 to you too. Happy 420 to you also. So I'm gonna have to put this on the ground to pick up the extra sand. Still not quite picking up enough extra sand. So we're gonna go back up and move the sand somewhere. Yeah, I guess that's what we'll do. We'll put the sand up there, and then I need to do something with these fireworks. Okay, so if we put the sponges together, that should get me another stack, and so we should leave slightly less sand on the ground. Perfect, no sand on the ground. Very happy. Now we fly back up. And we're going to do this same thing again, make a bunch of sections, drain them all out, remove that sand wall until everything is perfectly squared. Yeah, to me, religious holidays, you're supposed to eat Polish blood sausages, Dan. I'm gonna level with you here. I feel like you can make any tradition you want. That is an odd tradition, but, ultimately, I guess all traditions are odd to the wrong audience. You could argue it's really odd that we eat chocolate eggs today. I think the idea was meant to be that it was like regular eggs. But even then, like, as Adam Sony says, the bunny is laying the eggs. Maybe a platypus will evolve into a venomous rabbit one day. I still, the platypus is such a fun creature, by the way. I think it's wild the way we define different categories of animal. Can I go on record as saying that right now? Like, the way we define categories of things in real life is kind of we have fuzzy edges. Whereas science is, like, really good at saying, like, no fuzzy edge. If it has warm blood, it's not a reptile. If it has wings, that's not what makes it a bird. Because there's lots of things that have wings, or there's lots of birds that don't have usable wings or whatever. Like, trying to come up with, like, actual definitions, you start to get to, like, really weird things like, oh yeah, if it's an invertebrate, then it must be but we say, and I love that the platypus comes along. It's like, yeah, you made all your definitions and then you forgot that I existed. I think you could probably make if you want to make a real deep point about it, you could make a argument that is the same thing that we've done with lots of life recently. Also, so yeah, look at that. You can see that's what it's going to look like. I think that nice window probably should have been higher up. But yeah, now we have at least gotten rid of the dark spot, which is still confusing to me as to why that ever existed. But I'm going to choose not to question it, because that makes my life easier. I'm going to put the copper ingot away, and the trident away, and even the bow. No. Okay, that was a very... Honestly, endstone is great if you need a creeper-proof material. Pro tip. Also, Darren Hughes says, 1 hour into Tenant, I was yelling at the credits screen at home. I get it. Roll credits. I have to say, Tenet was a movie I had to think about a lot when I was done with it. I loved Tenet. I think it's my favorite movie I've watched recently. Very, very, very good time. Really, really, really like Tenet. I think it's one of those movies that, like, again, like, I was actively, like, watching videos about, like, here's what the movie looked like from the perspective of this item, and you're like, oh yeah, there's stuff that's just confusing that like, it's really impressive to be able to have depth in a movie, because you need to have people understand a movie, but to make depth, you have to have things that you don't understand, or at least questions you don't think to ask. Like, if you think about Fight Club, there's so many weird things that just happen that you go, okay, I guess this is happening, I'm coming along for the ride. And then eventually it's like, oh, this is why the things were happening. It's not a purely incomprehensible movie. There's a reason. There's a method to the madness. It's always very nice. Also, can we get some daily motivation for the artist, says Pudgy Melon? My daily motivation for any artists out there is that you are making things that might inspire people. And so, you know, if you can't be inspired yourself, then how can you inspire other people? Or is that demotivation? You know, doing my best. Okay, so, been a bit since I made it to a stream, but hello everyone. Hello, Battery Brains, how are you doing? Also, is Tenet a movie about David Tennant? It should be a movie. That's genuinely what my brain was thinking every time I heard about it. Yeah, it's a movie that's bad. It's famous for bad sound mixing. The director's a big believer that movies should sound kind of bad because conversations don't sound great. You know, so I went into a very loud music venue yesterday, chat, and it's my least favorite experience on the planet that we deal with all the time. I genuinely, this is my one negative thing that I've experienced recently, chat. But it's like one of the most shockingly regular experiences is we go to really loud places and then try to have conversations. It's like we need to have conversation places and we need to have loud music places. And we need to say, nope, you're not allowed to have a conversation here. We are going out of the conversation zone because I don't want to have a conversation. Which is a fine thing, you know? Sometimes I'm not talkative. Let's go to... Also, it's funny, they're just going to keep bouncing around. That's entirely chill. They can do that. But now I've got some extra sand. I can start placing that down... Is it over here? It's over here. So sand, 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 sand. Place it all the way up until we're good to go. So, yeah, I'm really excited to finish this project, chat. And I think today we'll finish it nice and early, actually. It'll be good. Did you go to a concert, says Dasher? No, I went to a, effectively, so, okay, just I'll tell you what I've been up to, Dasher. Let me give you my, my life recap. I was invited to a, marketplace, partner, kind of just like catch up, basically. You know, a couple of teams were meeting up anyway, and you know, like one of those guys is friends indirectly, as you know, they got an invite, so they're like, oh, you could invite this guy, he lives in London, and so I got an invite, and I'll be honest, I think there is a surprising number of places that I would go under the premise of free fun things, you know. And so what was interesting is it was like, oh yeah, we're going to like a nice Gordon Ramsay restaurant in London. I was like, you know, okay then. Worst case, I'm eating, you know, good food and meeting some people. It might be valuable to have some, you know, contacts in the industry. I think, yeah, something that like I really have come to realize recently is like, oh yeah, the marketplace stuff is actually probably like especially add-on stuff like the I speak to a lot of I've spoken to a lot of people who do things for the marketplace, broadly speaking, for years, because I've always loved making maps, chat. I don't know if that's come up, but like if you've been watching since the Minecraft 360 days, you know I used to like put save data files around. But anyway, so like people who made maps for people who like really loved making terrain, they were like, I've said this before, but every time I speak to one of the other teams, they're like, yeah, we love hiring console edition players because they learn the actual skills of how to, you know, how to build without having to use external tools. So it means they're really, really good at like the core skills. Very fun thing. But So yeah, right now, because add-ons are like the thing that does the best on the marketplace, it's something that like every other team has realized. Like, oh yeah, this means you need to know survival. You know, like no one really uses add-ons for creative outside of maybe Tinker's Construct or the World Generator one. But like most people use add-ons as a survival thing. And I feel like that's something that, like, particularly as someone who's played 12 years of survival and genuinely enjoyed it, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, this is the sort of stuff that actually makes sense to see from you to look at. People love boss splits, which is why we're working on the second one, right? But I think what you said for the artist made the clouds angry. It started to rain, says Pudgy Melon. You should make art of the new weather situation you have. Yeah, why not drink a water breathing potion? 8 minutes is a long time. Makes it almost okay without stacking. I definitely should. Chiliest Bean, I definitely should. Is that a good response? I've got a real stubbornness about how I do Minecraft stuff because I wanna. But I see how it would be helpful. But I'm also, you know, this again. I feel like a decent portion of my brain is just, if someone tells me to do something, I actively can't do it. And so I'm very sorry, Chiliest Bean. Gordon Ramsay has restaurants in London too. Cool. Yeah, apparently this was his first one. Like, obviously, you could imagine that he came up here. I try my best to follow what you're saying, but I feel like I'm having a stroke. Yeah, I think I just went on 5 tangents in a row. I think I said, hey, I met up with some marketplace partners. Oh, by the way, marketplace partners, it's something that is like of increasing importance to me because add-ons are the thing that now sell best. And oh yeah, by the way, add-ons are something people really enjoy. Seemingly people are very excited to see from me because a lot of teams struggle with add-ons because they offer survival. So that was actually only 3 tangents that I went down right there. Nailed it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna now untangent back to the marketplace partners thing. So I've always tried to have like good relations with people in the marketplace. A lot of people like actively. Hey, thank you, Jira. There was some like I had some like poor. It's one of those things where it's like it's useful to like have friends before you need them in a lot of cases. Thank you very much, Jira. Hope you're having a wonderful dinner. Right there. But yeah, then I also took a moment to away from what I was saying to say that Tenet is a great movie and you should watch it. There we go. We got it. Okay, so now let's slide through here. And let's put our sponges down. And then we're gonna have to go dry our sponges and then put the sand down. I guess we'll put the sand down for the rest of this now. That should be nice and easy. And so let's get it done. There's gonna be a lot of sand required. So let's start rolling it around. And again, wouldn't it be great if we had water-breathing potions? The answer is yes, it would be great. But actually, there's an easier solution than that. This is something I've played around with already. Instead of having to be underwater to do the stacking, we just break a lot of end stone over here. And we'll just place the sand in a big straight line. And problem solved. So this is my new solution. No, I've got an air-breathing potion, which is all I need right here. Also, 4 tangents. A tangent's about tangenting is still a tangent. Is it going on a tangent to explain people the number of tangents that I'm on? Or is that another tangent to explain, is asking that question and giving you an answer actually level 5 tangent? Okay, so let's untangent down to saying a tangent about the tangents. Yep, I've explained tangents perfectly. It is how I have conversations, and I am particularly bad at them. Right now it seems. So you should get dreads. Great idea. Do you think someday they'll let you dry sponges in the sun? Yeah, I think if you're in a warm biome, you should just have a chance of getting a thing. Oh, my brain is running on low performance mode today, chat. Okay, so back down to tangent 3. Add-ons are something I think we do really well as a team. I can make I guess the only way to finish that is to say, did you know Twigcat's Toolkit? It's coming out in May. We have our first update like planned and almost ready, but we can't release it until the actual thing comes out. So it's gonna be curious to see how people enjoy like the first version. It's got so many of the things that will make your survival better. Boom. Okay. back up another tangent. So meeting marketplace partners is something I think is cool. A lot of people in the marketplace actively. I don't remember why I got so much hate when I joined it from existing marketplace partners. They're like, "Oh, YouTubers coming over here thinking they know how to make a Minecraft map." I got real hate about Scorched because they're like, "Oh, you used the custom super flat tool rather than building terrain." And it's like, yeah, actually, that was the point was to make a fun world that had those custom super flat vibes, right? Like using my experience from survival to make a map. Whereas people thought like, no, that's like actively terrible. It's lazy, is what it is. Okay, so I need to go to the Nether now, which should be very simple. I'm gonna bring my sand back with me actually, and then I'm gonna put it in the Nether, and we're gonna be good. Okay, so. Yeah, it's been nice to meet marketplace partners who are less brutal and less like actively trying to tear down me and or you know the team. Okay, back to tangent 1. So I met up with some marketplace partners, and we went to the Minecraft experience. I've got so many cape codes, by the way, hanging around here. But so we went to the Minecraft experience. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going out for dinner after. We'll cover it if you want." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's how you get me to go anywhere." I like I said, I just I think one of the sad things about being wealthy is that free food wouldn't excite you anymore. The joy of getting a good meal is something special. The joy of getting a really good meal and being like, I'm leaving here net positive. Because otherwise, even if I make myself a 12p rice and soy sauce dinner, that's still more expensive, especially when you consider the energy, than just showing up somewhere and you know, like so it was like a very nice Gordon Ramsay restaurant. It's called the Savoy. I think it is famous in its own right. Yeah, what was really interesting though is so it was like old style fancy. I want to talk to you about this experience, chat, because I didn't quite realize it at the time, but I think living in a big city, and if you live anywhere where you get good food, there's kind of an assumption, and a fair one, right? If you go to a restaurant, you are in the restaurant for food, right? That's a very fair assumption to make, that people show up to restaurants expecting the food to be like, if you spend a lot of money on a restaurant, if you go to a fancy restaurant, you expect the food to be good. Also, if I promised to treat you to a Russian McDonald's, would you come and visit? I do not want to be disappeared, Dasher. Also, there are Gordon Ramsay restaurants in the UK too. There's only 75,000 in Las Vegas. Yeah, I feel like the number of Gordon Ramsay restaurants in Las Vegas is genuinely distracting. Like, if there was one, you'd be like, I've got to go. But I think there was 4, and then they opened a 5th. And it's like, well, at that point, you assume that the quality control of one restaurant on the other side of the world, that's kind of tricky already, right? The quality control of, you know, 5 restaurants on the other side of the world, all next to each other, makes you feel like you're licensing out the name. In reality, I believe that he does make some changes to them. Also, I've been to fancy restaurants for foul food and so that's where I'm getting at, actually, Antonia. Hey, Xavier, you've changed your name. I'll stick with Xavier though. The same way I call Adam Sony, or I want to call Adam Sony Aubrey, but haven't stuck to it yet. But yeah, okay, let's come through here and hoe it all up. Get me some fresh sponges. Maybe the last fresh sponges that I'll need for the entire project here. Also, 402, you made it. I know! Lord Chinaboat, I did make it. I am very happy of making it. It is my dream in life to make it, and here I am, having done it. So, okay, so I want to talk about this. That you assume going to a fancy restaurant means the food is if the food is expensive, you assume it's because the food is very good, and that is what you are paying for. You know, that you can spend, in London, £12 for a flat iron steak. At, you know, flat iron. I think maybe 14 now, actually. But you can get a really cheap, good steak. Or you can also, is my stream lagging a bit there? Sorry, chat. Or you can go to like a mid-end restaurant and probably get a better steak. Or if you assume you were spending £100 on a steak, it would have to be great, right? Or the same is true for like, you know, fish and chips. You can get a really decent fish and chips from a chippy for, you know, like, probably actually, like, if you want fish, maybe like £14. But, you know, you can get a decent fish and chips for under £15. Or you could go to like a fancy place where they're going to do some fancy things. And it will cost you a bit more. But after it costs you a bit more, you assume that you are getting better food there. But actually, there's... I've always been a big believer in the idea that, like, the idea of paying for service is wild. The fact that people think the reason you go out to eat is for... Like, I just never got it. It's not the primary thing at any establishment that I could say I've been to. But at the same time, I went... so the restaurant I went to, the Savoy by Gordon Ramsay, was so remarkable because it was all about... I didn't realize at the time... But they had like, so they had 10 waiters for like maybe 14 tables. And then off those waiters, like 4 of them are wearing purple jackets because they're all trained sommeliers. And then off those, there's waiters that have a grape symbol on them. And they're master sommeliers, so they know like so like that by itself, even if you never talk to them, just knowing that they are there and like seeing them rotate around and do stuff, kind of cool. The way they bring stuff to the table and they've got like, there's a lot of like really clever details that made it more like a show than about the food. And the food, in my opinion, they had one dish that blew me away. It was like a cod souffle, or haddock souffle, sorry. It was fish and cheese. It is a bizarre combination. Okay, so this is the way to get back to the monument. Let's pick up some sand. Look at this. We're moving it back. It's going great. Also, I'm hungry now. Thanks a lot, says Deanna. If you're hungry, have some food. You what? Don't let anyone stop you. But yeah, so the interesting thing about the place is there were some really unique dishes and some really good ones. But actually, the reason it was expensive, I think, like, we're talking, like, maybe £100 a person. Thank you very much. You appreciate it. The reason that the reason it is that price is it's not like, you know, 10 times better than when you spend £10 a person. It's certainly not double as good as when you spend £50 a person. But the show and the way it was all organized and orchestrated... like, okay, this is a crazy but dumb detail, but I actually appreciated it, chat. Or like I thought it was, again, it made me go, ooh, was, they had someone push your chair in behind you when you sat down. I don't know how they got there. There was no, like, I went to pull my own chair and they're like, no, we got this. Don't you worry. And it's like, ooh, fancy. And it's like fancy in a weird LARPy way. Like I'm pretending, you know, I'm role-playing as, you know, like royalty or like an upperclassman from the early 1900s when we didn't have consumer goods, so the only way we could enjoy spending money was, you know, having a bunch of people be very well trained in, you know, waiting on you or whatever. But there is also, like, it is fun. I don't think I would like to eat in a restaurant like that every day. But I'm like, oh, that's fun. That's you know, like, a lot of people like the idea of dinner and a show. What if you could have your show be a part of dinner? I think that's what that was. So yeah, it was interesting. Is the haddock souffle good? Oh, so good. So good. It was, I think it was like the cheapest good thing too. It was £28 or something like that. Which again, compared to the rest of the menu, if you want to look it up, it was very cheap. It was not my, again, I am anywhere for free food. So for me, thankfully, it was complimentary. But man, yeah, it was delicious. Whereas the steak was like, oh, this is a good steak. You get this at a nice restaurant somewhere. Nothing's gone wrong. A lot of things have gone right, but that's kind of it. And you know, there's another interesting thing is like fancy places start to like really mess with your expectations of like. There's lots of ways that you can impress people in ways that you actively are not serving them. So there is no salt and pepper at the table at a fancy place. Like, I don't quite get it, but it's like, no. If you think this food, you know, is too salty, or sorry, if you think this food isn't salty enough, you're incorrect. You have bad taste buds, learn to get good ones. And I think that's interesting as heck. I think that's really interesting. added butter and a different guy who added sour cream. Oh yeah, Dan Marsh, I had this experience recently. All I wanted was baked Alaska. I went to the only place that had baked Alaska. Hey, Camby! And hello, Mr. Toy Cat. Thank you. First tip of the stream, by the way. Thank you for the Easter tip. How is my Easter going? So, I'll skip the story between the dinner, which was very lovely, and where I had again. I'm a big believer in I like being a contrarian, which is to say, if everyone agrees that something expensive is good, they're probably wrong. At some point, the good thing you are buying becomes the status of buying the expensive thing. Like, I just don't believe, chat, that it is worth spending. I don't know. I can't think of an easy example. Like, I can't believe it's worth spending, you know, $80,000 on a Mercedes. I can't believe that it's worth spending, you know, like $1,000 on a special handbag, or you know, like thousands on a plain T-shirt, but it comes from, you know, like Gucci, or whatever. I feel like. Yeah, that's the also proud to be the first. It's appreciate it a lot, Canby. How's your Easter going actually? So Toy Cat is running out of battery. Yeah, I'll skip the story between dinner with the oh, so my story. See, I'm so bad at I feel like I'm bad at staying on point usually, and it's just scaled up to 10 today. So yeah, they had a lot of English sparkling wine, which is weird because everyone likes champagne. Champagne's like this fancy thing, like, ooh yeah, you've got to have champagne to celebrate an event. We're like, no, the English version, so good. I was very, very pleasantly surprised. And the one they had at the restaurant was like so good. I was like, yeah, I think I need another glass of this. And it's kind of cool to have like the theater that happens. So if you want to know, my, you know, internal, I spilt some, someone across the table from me wanted to show me their phone, and I had to reach up and grab it, and I spilt some wine in the meantime. I know, very terrible. I hate to think about what the price of that wine might have been, so I choose not to think about it. And, yeah, I spilt some wine, and the theater procession of like, okay, we're going to put a napkin down and make sure that wine doesn't... Make sure the table isn't wet. That would be bad. Okay. Someone is like, we will refill your glass immediately, sir. And then as soon as they came over a glass, like, within, like, 20 seconds. And I was like, whoa, okay, actually, you know, if you're giving me more wine at this point anyway, you give me this one, please. And I was like, oh, yeah, we turned a negative thing. I really messed up. They turned that into a great opportunity for me to get, like, a wine that I wanted. I don't like wine, by the way, just to be clear. Not in the slightest. But, yeah, it's, I thought that was kind of fun. So, I mean, so yeah, there's issues with the audio cutting out. Try refreshing. I have no idea why refreshing should or does work. I'll be honest with you, it doesn't make sense, right? But yeah, if you try a refresh, if you're on a PC, press Control refresh, and you'll clear the cache, do a true refresh. And it'll be great. I think restarting your stream fixes the audio. It just stopped for me. Okay, but yeah, it's good. So anyway, so my Easter started. I won't explain what happened between there and this morning, but I woke up at 8 a.m. just unable to function. Chat. Who is to say why or how? But I was just disastrously underslept, underhydrated. I was this morning was a very rough awakening. And I'm such a light sleeper, chat. I feel like, you know, like I'm jealous of people who can be like, oh yeah, I just fall asleep and then, you know, stuff just magically happens. Like, no. Like sleep is an ordeal for me. I think I've gotten good at getting myself to sleep. Like, imagine that you're dead basically is the easiest thing. Like, you know, like just it is black. You are doing nothing. Like you're at peace and calm. It works pretty well for me, at least. Your results may vary. But, also, this is fun. We can use the chorus fruit as a way to get more sand down there. But anyway, refreshing kills turning off and on. That's why it works. It's the easiest piece of tech advice. It works all the time for everyone. But yeah, so I just woke up in a little disastrous disastrously, all those things. I'm a light sleeper at the best of times. So like, if you add things that mess with sleep to my life, I'm gonna be sleeping in this like really weird, not getting sleep way. And I was already kind of, I've been underslept for a few days anyway, chat. I can't stop my body waking up at 8 AM. But also I don't want to sleep at like, 11 PM. I can't get myself to sleep like that early. That'd be insane. Which actually, I like that nowadays people are starting to call themselves night owls and being like, it's biologically ingrained. Nothing you can do about it. I love when there's something that you don't want to do in life, being able to say like, oh, yeah, actually, it's, there's a condition for this, and you're actually basically racist if you imply that is in any way my choice about when I wake up. And so that's my new joy in life. Can you sleep on airplanes? Only when I'm like disastrously tired. Even if you're lucky enough to have like the ability to lay flat, either in a fancy seat or multiple economy seats is the honestly, it's kind of more preferred. It's like cozier, but if you like multiple economy seats is like I can sleep on a long flight, but I mostly I think it's really easy for me to nap. I can get really good 1 hour bursts of sleep. I used to do it so much during school. It's my like default position. Whereas, man, I should just start taking naps. See if my body likes that. Like, let's just organize nap time into the day for me. I've been getting some crappy sleep too. Maybe we're the same person, Josh Jones. Maybe that's the reason why. It's the only reasonable answer I can come up with. But yeah, so okay, so let's break some blocks here, including this. Goodbye. And let's fill this with sand next. And then once we've filled it with sand, we're gonna do the last train ever, chat. It's gonna be crazy. I once stayed up for a full 24 hours because I refused to sleep on a plane. Why would you refuse to sleep on a plane? Like, travel. If you can sleep on a plane, it's the most efficient time to sleep. If you can turn travel time into sleep time, you've doubled the value of your time. You've created... It'd be like, like, imagine if genuinely working was your favorite thing to do. Or, yeah, let's say that your addiction is playing video games. The reason that so many people find the idea of playing games as a job to be appealing is because it's like, what if the thing that I like doing most could also be the most productive thing that I do? What if I could turn my leisure time into my money time? Oh, my stomach hurts, chat. But yeah, do you want to see my Easter egg some more? I don't. Do you have to eat the whole Easter egg on Easter? Is it like, am I breaking some superstition if I don't? I'm getting there. I've eaten most of the word Cadbury. I'm working through the rest of it. See, I woke up, I sleep poorly at the best of times. But like today, I'm just like, yeah, I am not slept, and that is how it is. I am tired, and I will be tired forever. Now I am living with the world of being tired forever. Which is very dramatic, but, welcome to me, I guess. So, oh, I didn't realize you could just, oh, you can't. So, yeah, the longest I've gone without sleeping is 26 hours. Did a day of school, didn't sleep, then did another day of school. It felt pretty weird. Oh, yeah, not sleeping before school is the worst. Like, doing things you don't want to do when you're tired is the hardest. Whereas I feel like that's why I'm lucky that, I love what I do here. It's because it's like...
Happy Easter.
Hey!
At family dinner. Toy cat is yes.
Thank you, David! Happy family dinner. I think that is the traditional Easter thing to do. I'm kind of sad. I feel like I haven't had an Easter meal in a very long time. I feel like that's just been... I just went missing in my... life at some point. I should have an Easter meal. You know, chat, after the stream, that's what I'm doing now. Also, what... Oh, right, it's because there's no light pouring in from the top, but now it should be. Oh, that's so cool, chat. This is such a fun illusion. Oh, it's so interesting that it simulates the light. And then, like, doesn't again. But yeah, we can't get light down here without using torches. We don't have torches except in here. So let's whip some out. And let's start doing it. So torch there. Torch here. Torch here. And yeah, we're getting real close to the end of it. Also, my daughter calls me and everyone chat now, says Daffy Luck. Oh yeah, that's the new slang thing, right? Like, the easiest way to just, like, you know, also, please keep going. Toy Cat stomach is yes. The Toy Cat stomach is not yes today. But if we all believe it's yes, maybe it will become yes. Well, moving sand is transparent. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that it was. I'm glad you find that shocking too, Josh Jones. But yeah, calling people chat is the normal way to say it now. Because if you think about the English language needs, or every language needs, a way to differentiate between you, like me to you second person, and me to you second person like the general you. So in the old days we had the word thou. Like, do you know the 10 commandments, right? Is it the 10? Yeah, the 12 commandments? You know the commandments, it's like, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor. Like, thou and thy are not just old-timey ways to say you and, you know, they. It's, they're ways to distinguish between you, the individual, and you, the group. Because, like, if I say you should not steal, and do I mean that, no, you, Carter Davidson, you should not steal? Or am I saying you should not steal as in one should not steal? You know, like, in general, human beings should not steal. Which, by the way, thou shalt not steal. Really good, you know, that's good life advice, if you ask me. If you were to start Survival World now, what approach would you take? It's the 10 commandments? Are you sure it's not the 12 commandments? I feel like 12, it's gotta be the 12 commandments. Did they add 2 more later on? Is it like, did they make amendments to them or something? I feel like when you say chat and videos, toy chatters feel appreciated. I'm glad that they do. I hope that they do. And I'm happy to hear that is the goal. And I'm glad that it is true. So I'm going to let the water just pour into here. And it's going to be messy. 100% sure it's 10. But there's 12 disciples. So, like, one amendment per disciple. I guess I'm mixing up religions there. Well, it's the same religion, actually. But, you know, I feel like we need a new... I know the Mormons are kind of on this. I feel like we could do a New Testament now. Like, I feel like there needs to be a testament of the Bible that's got TikTok in it. I think it's the only way to make it, you know, relatable to the modern age. You know, this is... If anyone out there is, you know, works in a church, you know, I'm not going to work for free. Specifically, I might need to charge double my rate. I think I would feel like I am doing something damaging to work. Like, there's something weird about the Minecraft Bible, right? Where it's like it feels strange, like, you know, using TikTok to promote, you know, there's something about religion that feels like it's a mouth-to-mouth person thing. You know, like, whether you think it's good or bad for the world, you'd still concede, like, yeah, it feels odd to promote religion in any other format than the spoken word. Chat, we need to write a Bible 3.0. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I don't know what could be in there. But, you know, like, again, maybe there could be, like, a segment about, like, oh, yeah, you know, like, someone's in the, you know, I'm going to leave this to the side. No religion, remember? So, the, yeah, also, we're going to get Bible free before Minecraft 2. I think Bible Part 3 before Minecraft 2 is a near guarantee for sure. Okay, let's now break this. But yeah, it's really good to see you, David. I hope you enjoy your family Easter dinner. I feel like, actually, Easter dinner is always a roast for me. So what is an Easter dinner for you? You know, you just having, you know, having pizza. You know, that's the closest thing I can think of to stereotypically offensive. Yeah, what is Easter dinner to you? I would love to know. Also, I just have to lose these chorus fruits. I don't think there's anything I can do to keep them. Maybe if I silk touch the... Oh, that's what I have to do specifically. I have to silk touch these, right? And then I get to keep them. Oh, I should be doing that. I think these are a pain to get otherwise. So I'll break all of these. And the rest can grow how they grow. So, yeah, thou shalt make leisure time into money-making time. Yeah, there's a good one, right? Like the side hustle. Let's write a commandment about the side hustle. Let's explain like, oh yeah, what if you could turn your money making time into fun time? And like, you know, there could be like a parable about like, oh yeah, John thought it was really clever that he got paid for making Minecraft maps. But then John realized that making Minecraft maps wasn't as fun after he started getting paid because he wasn't drawing the lines between paid time and free time. I'm having pizza freeze dinner. I want pizza freeze dinner. Am I getting on pizza freeze dinner? Let's see. Where's the pizza at, chat? I've only eaten breakfast today. I think. I've only eaten breakfast and then Easter egg today, which honestly that is a reasonable day. That's an Easter day. I don't have any baked honey ham, but we just forgot to get the ham this year. You forgot to get the ham on Easter. That's terrible. That's the worst. You've ruined Easter single-handedly with that one. So now I'll place my chorus flowers down, and they'll grow into new choruses? No, that doesn't look right. But yeah, whatever. I'll place them down. I'll see what happens. There. We'll space them out, actually, 2 between them each here. So we'll leave space for more later. Just so they have more space to grow. There we go. All the way out there. And now we can remove all of the end stone. Place all of the sand that we create. We had serpent earth. The Bible already says to do that. Wait, the Bible already has a part about the side hustle? What pizza do you usually get? I feel like you're a pepperoni guy. Dash, are you trying to keep me from making a new Bible verse during a Minecraft stream? That is a very reasonable thing to do. Timothy 6:10, warning that love of money is the root of all evil. Yeah, Floppy, no, you're misunderstanding. The side hustle means you don't have to love money. You love what you do, and then coincidentally you get money. I think, yeah, actually, chat. I'm gonna order pizza. I think I'm gonna order pizza right now. I think, you know, we can call this. Again, this is the most extreme Toy Cat stream. This is an extreme stream. Extreme stream. Yeah, that works. Okay. I'm a chat. Should I go fancy pizza or should I go for like a Papa John's pizza? Papa John's, they'll give you for £10. You can get a small pizza. You can get any. I could get a cheeseburger pizza, chat. Imagine that, a pizza with cheeseburgers on. Oh yeah, or I could get a. Oh yeah, there's a lot of. There's a lot of interesting. Oh yeah, chat. I am blown away at the choice of sides that you can get at Papa John's. Oh, do I want that? I think I might want that. I think just getting some sides in my life might make me very happy. Yeah, I think that might be where I'm going, chat. I think I might just get pizza sides. Yeah, I think oh yeah, boneless chicken thighs. That doesn't even make any sense, chat. I like it. I like it a lot, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get some sides, chat. Fancy tastes better. Fancy definitely tastes better, you're right. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna get some sides right now. I'm just gonna do it. I just gotta find out what I want. Okay, yeah, I'm getting sides, chat. Order too much and regret it later. You know, Dasher, you are the influence I need in my life. You are the influence I need and I desire when it comes to ordering food. No one ever says, you know, when they're on their deathbed, like, oh, I wish I'd ordered slightly less from Papa John's on my Minecraft stream. I hope not, at least. Wait, chat, does anyone know someone who's done that? Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get too many sides. Maybe I'll get a pizza too. I'm not gonna get the pizza too. I'm gonna get the sides. Yeah. Who's to say that I can't have 5 pizzas, chat? Like, you know, unless they. Yeah, no, the plastic grass in the Easter basket is Easter-turf. Speaking of food and deathbed, what would your last meal be? You know, it's funny, can be, because I feel like my instinct is to exploit a loophole on my last meal. Like, if I learned I could only have one more meal, I'm definitely, like, I'm cheesing it, right? Like, I'm making, my last meal is gonna be, like, you know, like a type of, a meal that takes 6 months to, like, I want 6 months slow roasted, or slow cooked pork belly or something. Like, I'm gonna work out the slowest food to prepare, and I'm gonna extend my life. But, assuming I can't cheese it and they say no, we've got every single food in the universe in this bucket, you get to have one last meal, what should it be? I'm gonna cheese it in a different way and say, I think I want to have one of all of my last meals. And so I argue that no. Yeah, a pizza from Japes is one of my favorite Chicago pizza places. I want a pizza from them. I need burger and lobster. The burger and the lobster. You can't go to burger and lobster and get, you know, just the lobster. A burger and lobster roll, to be clear. You know, every now and then, you know, there's an assumption that I might like lobster outside the roll. It's like, no, I like the roll more than the lobster. So I definitely want a burger. I think like a nice smash burger. I definitely want a Chicago-style pizza with all the cheese. I need a lobster roll. I want to like gorge myself so bad that I'm like, kill me. You know, I'm not gonna be able to pass this without extreme pain. So I want to leave that meal being so stuffed. I want to die from the food. Actually, I think one of the biggest struggles. Chat, you know, do you want to go? It's Easter, and actually, Easter is the time that we executed someone publicly. So let's talk about public execution, because I think morally it's really hard to justify the death penalty in a world where we're not 100% sure that anyone has ever done anything. We say beyond a reasonable doubt, but sometimes, you know, juries are whole thing. We never actually are that sure. We're always pretty sure that the people we put in prison are criminals, but sometimes we're not, right? And so in that world, I think executions are real rough. The death penalty is kind of crazy, but so one of the biggest struggles with the death penalty is that, like, no one wants to do it, in the sense of, even if we agree as a society, yeah, there are just some people so diabolically bad. Order kosher, says Bob King. Oh, that's what I do on planes if I wanna make sure that I get my food before anyone else. Because if you know, on a normal plane, you gotta wait for, you know, the food to get back to you, and then like it takes them like hours to come back and take it. It's a whole pain. So what you do is you order a special kosher meal. I know this is unethical life advice, but it's my life advice anyway. And then they prepare it first, because, you know, it has to be prepared under certain guidelines. And then you get a special meal. Sometimes it's worse, sometimes it's better. And you get to eat it first, which, let's be honest, on a plane, the food is just entertainment. Like, the reason eating on a plane is great is because you take your food time and your travel time and you combine it. Imagine if you could take your food time, your travel time, and your sleep time and combine them. You'd be so efficient. You'd have 20 hours to play some things. Also, yeah, some juries make me mad, says Antonia. As someone who was on a jury, I would like to defend the concept of juries, while also saying, like, oof, yeah, actually 100% understand it. So, yeah, I'm going to have to get all of these spoongies now. It's going to be a whole pain, but let's get it done. So, yeah, what should I do with this? I guess I'll take the sand back home. I'm gonna get so much sand, actually. You know, let's get the sand on the ground now, and then deal with everything else later. I definitely don't need chorus fruit, but I do need sand. So, let's place the... Oh, God. Oh, man, it's a slime chunk. No wonder I didn't get rid of this. I guess I could place some of the sand underneath the monument, and it'd be a great place to just push away my problems for later, which is my favorite thing to do. You know it, chat. Make it future me's problem? Yes, I will. So we'll make a little wall over here. Build it up nice and strong. And then make myself a way out over here. Oh. Get some sponges out, because I've got them anyway. I'm going to be drying them all, so there's no additional cost that I'm saving. And just hang out at the edge before we build some more sponges. What do you think about the new UI? Masticating helps equitation on a plane. I love your logic there, Lord Tunaboat. Also, I love your username. Also, yeah, hey Toy Cat, what should I do in my survival? Build yourself a big representation of something that's important to you in the real world. Or something I love. I think building the Minecraft logo is great. But yeah, I've got a video about 30 things I saw in people's long-term worlds. It's one of the Realm reviews I kind of liked recently. Give it a look. So, Cat, you should drain air under the monument. It will control guardian spawning and look cool. Yeah, I kind of know I've got to do it, but that doesn't mean I'm looking forward to doing it, you know? I also think under here I would definitely need to have water-breathing potions, which I could do, but then I'm moving back the completion of the project again. Although these areas seem to be simple enough to drain. Oh, no, they're not. They're slightly too big to drain, chat. It's resisting the draining. It's actively resisting. So now we'll throw our shovel through that and then tear it across. And then probably it's best just to put this back. Or we could just make another section of sand. Just across here to be as simple as possible. Yeah, nice and simple, nice and easy. Just here comes the sand. Place one sponge and that should do it all. Yeah, one sponge. It's perfect. You love to see it, chat. Okay, I should do that. But what are your plans for the monument? The monument is like effectively a miniature guardian farm. If I need guardians, they can come from here. And so if I want to put them in boats for whatever reason, I think having a set place for guardians is great. If I ever do need to make a guardian farm, because I just need a bunch of prismarine, I could come here. I think I would still prefer just mining out parts of it. Like, wouldn't it be cool if we took all these long legs and mined them out and replaced them with a nether block? I even like the idea of, like, maybe replace the entire structure. You should make a sponge farm with a random ocean monument. I think that would be cool. I don't think you can make a sponge farm, right? Unless you... Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't farm sponges. So, invest in making your long-term world easier to navigate. It will pay off exponentially. Yeah, navigation is the biggest problem to solve in Minecraft. And the easy solution is just use a elytra and some fireworks. But even then, that means invest in a gunpowder and a paper farm. Or go a step further and invest in the other clever forms of transport that make your world navigatable to everyone, not just yourself. Anyway, okay, let's go. Okay. Get a couple of bits of gunpowder for the inventory. Although, actually, I killed both of them, got no gunpowder, and have no space to store it if they did give me gunpowder. So, maybe for the best there. Given that I've got so much sand in this chest, and so much endstone, actually, too, I'm going to go back home with an inventory full. I'll even bring my prismarine shards with me. I'll bring the sand home, and I'll re-wet the sponges, or redo the sponges. So let's go pick up the rest of those. You know, that's the biggest, ugliest part of the project we've got to remove. Let's do it. Chunk base is cool navigation, unless you say that's cheating. Chunk base isn't cheating, right? You get to make your own rules. Does chunk base add to your fun more than it takes away? If so, you should use it. That's the only simple way to put anything, I think. If you enjoy doing something more than you don't enjoy it, and it's a single-player video game, like, I think if you're in a public world where people don't agree to use chunk base, you're kind of being not that nice for using it without letting them know, you know? Whereas if everyone says, like, oh yeah, I don't care what you do, or even if specifically you know your friends are not into chunk base, that they don't want to use it, then, like, yeah, not that polite to use it. But otherwise, yeah, I don't think people are massively fussed or stressed or anything like that. Okay, so I have to do a lot of trips up and down here to get rid of these sponges. But yeah, it's going great. So I built a communist toy cat statue. There we go. That's a much better idea. That's what they're looking for. No one wants to hear about building transportation improvements that will benefit their world. They want to build a big statue that represents something grand. And you know what? I'm down with that. You should totally do it. So, oh, there we go. Let's give it a zoom through. Chunk-based disclosure, lol. Yeah, I do think, like, okay, one of the things I've learned, I think, like, life is a big learning game, right? We're always learning lessons, blah, 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 blah. But one of the ones I've really picked up on recently is people just like being informed, right? Like, people want to be in the loop for stuff. It's not that true on the internet. I think there are times where telling your audience too much is a bad thing. I think it's something I'm like, you know, it's like a lesson I had to learn one way. But in general, in real life, rather than telling your friends like, oh yeah, we're gonna go out to like a place and then we'll just go to a nearby bar. That should be enough information to like, you know, you'd almost figure like if you give people more, you're like bogging them down. Like now they're expected to look up what, you know, the pod and the shard is as a pub. Whereas if you just say, oh yeah, we're going out to a pub after, it's like, oh yeah, when I'm at the pub, I will deal with the pub. You know, I used to feel like you were lowering people's cognitive load by saying, don't worry, I got this, we're gonna be good. But I've realized a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I just want to know that when dinner is finished, that we are going to a place. Maybe I'll look it up, maybe I won't, but knowing that, you know, like, looking up on a map, how long will it take, or stuff like that. A lot of people really are better off, really happy just knowing weird details like that. Also, I'd have tacos, refried beans, and Spanish rice. Oh, that's a good meal. Chat, what would your last meal be? You have one last meal, what would it be? I'm saying I'm going to gorge myself. I'm going to eat far too much of everything. You know, get to the point where I'm secretly wishing that I'm dead. And then, you know, thankfully there's going to be a nice service that comes along and does that for me. But yeah, I want to know your situation. What your last meal would be. If you were to have just one, and you can't cheese it too much. You can't ask for 6-month aged, you know, 2025. I want a 2026 Chevrolet Camberlet. Sorry, is that a wine? Sauvignon Blanc. That's a wine. That's the only thing I'll take with my last meal. My last meal would be 300 New York pizzas. Man, that's a lot of pizzas. You know, it is fun that you can eat so much food that you die. But oh, so the ethical thing about, man, I'm see, look at me, chat. I think I'm better at tangents today than ever. I would have never come back to that on another day. But I am so broken inside from the tiredness that actually I am better as an orator. Okay, so oh yeah, it just feels so good to stretch. Seafood, linguine, and tiramisu. I think my last meal, highest quality salmon sushi, highest quality steak, highest quality cheesecake. You know, there's an argument to be made that you actually want something familiar, right, for your last meal, so that you're like, you know, like, do you ever have this where you're like, you know, you're basically done eating food? And you want your last bite to be like something memorable, not like a generic piece of tomato soup. You want it to be that delightful cheesecake. I love a good cheesecake at least. Yeah, cheesecake's so good. Chat, I feel like regular cake is out of business. The moment you have a good enough cheesecake, you're like, all cake should be cheesecake. I love a good you know, it's the right temperature for a cake. It's a nice thing. Cheesecake is the best cake, if you ask me. And you know what? You are asking me. You're in my live stream. And, yeah. No, actually, that's my entire point. Cheesecake, best cake. I don't have anything more to add or say. So if I'm going to do this, I think some water-breathing potions would go a long way. I think it's going to be near impossible to do it otherwise, without breaking the ocean monument and having to do that. I had cheesecake and half an Easter egg earlier today. Oh, I wanna live your fancy life. Kit Kat. Tell me more about what I have to do to achieve, you know, this level. And I'll work on it, you know. Also, I made lemon cheesecake this week. It was amazing. Oh yeah, I feel like fruity cheesecake is hard. Lemon cheesecake doesn't sound great. Also, Dorito and a glass of water. If you do that, you're telling the world, yes, I killed those people. There's no way anyone looks at Dorito and a glass of water and doesn't go, this person deserves to die. So to finish the fort chat, oh, I could go all the way. You know, I'll go all the way across. I'll get my potion, then I'll go to the Nether. Oh, but I don't have a place to put my sand. I have to go into my house, then get my potion. It'll be fine. Yeah, it'll work out. I think, maybe. No, maybe I should get the potion. No, I have to, sand comes first. Sand needs to come first. Salad and Kentucky Fried Chicken. Oh, I was saying today, I crave KFC, just the skin, every now and then. They need to sell that. A block of it, make it like a gourmet thing. I would pay whatever they charged for it, chat. I would pay more than whatever they charged for it. I would tip, you know, for the excellent service of making me exactly what I want. Does anyone else not know what their last meal would be? I mean, statistically, Chantal, most people don't know what their last meal is going to be. If you want to get really, really philosophical on this. But, yeah, let's, dirt in, grass in, and stone in here. Yeah. And then the prismarine chest is over here, where I'll put the shards. Again, maybe future me wants to craft from those. I'm not going to be his boss if it's not going to be mine. Gourmet. Yeah, gourmet. I don't know what word I'm using. You know what? Gourmet KFC. Reminds me of a South Park episode when Combinate the skin of all the KFC. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, that's the one where they decide, like, you know what, he's gone too far. And they convince him he's dead. It's a great episode, actually. It's one of many great episodes in there, I would say. Yeah, I like chicken. I find the skin too salty. I see an arrangement opportunity here. Oh, Dasher, you have no idea how much... This does sound like a lot of fun. Let's go to KFC. I'll eat the entire skin of a bucket of chicken. And you'll be like, yeah, I'll have the healthy protein bit now. Okay, so I'm gonna finish my point because I patted myself on the back for finishing my point and then didn't finish my point. So I have to finish it now, or I have not deserved my pat on the back chat. So oh, my head hurts. I wonder why. I have no idea. There's no possible explanation as to what tiredness issues are causing me brain pain. Yeah, also lava. Chicken. Ooh, lava chicken, yeah, it's tasty as hell. Ooh, mama cheetah, now you're ringing a bell. It's crazy that is just in my head, right? I thought it was like the dumbest part of the movie. I think the movie is filled with entirely unrelated TikTok-style clips, but as it turns out, that's exactly what people want to watch in a movie. It's air quotes iconic. Everyone's making fun of it. The only way you can show you like something now is ironically. People are like, yeah, Minecraft movie's so good. I tamed a camel today. They're pretty lame. You should tame 3, and then maybe you'd love them more. Okay, so yeah, I would love to just eat KFC skins. Yeah, or what you could do, you know, what we could do is we could peel them off, put them in a big pile, make that cube for me. Yeah, so chat, I need to eat soon. I did a really rough order. Yeah, I did a very rough order. It looks like it'll be here in 20 minutes. So, also, typical Toycat streamer fort stream. No, my fort, the death penalty. So, the death penalty is a really hard one to deal with. But literally one of the hardest bits is how do you get people to go through with doing. Even if as a society we say that some people are worth killing, which is a very big step to make, we then have to actually kill the people. And that's hard. That's not just hard as a, like, we have to deal with the consequences collectively of saying we are capable of killing people for what they might not have done. And even if we say, let's say we know with 1000% certainty that they have done a thing, we are murdering a person due to what they have done. You know, you'd argue we're perverting the course of nature, whatever. I don't know what argument you want to make, but it's not an easy thing to do. And so, being an executioner, there's a fun name for it in British English that my brain is just not telling me right now. Also, let's get some water-breathing potions. Run to the fridge to grab a snack or a funky drink. I had a nice funky drink on the train home, actually. The stream was a little late today because I was busy on said train. Also, having this potion bottle, very cool. I think the lava potion is much better looking. So I think I might replace the floor of this with lava. Oh, actually, that's a good idea. Chat. Just had a great idea. Lava floor. Lava chicken. I should that's a Let's Play title right there. You know what, chat? I think I'm in for something. Yeah, let's do it. Dude's ripped on 420. Instead of a last meal, can I have a last experience? Because if I never get to pet a giraffe in my life, I want that to be my last experience. Yeah, so the entire reason the last meal exists is because we want to say that the punishment is losing your life. We're not going to do it in an undignified way. That you should get to enjoy your last moments alive, even though as a prisoner, usually you don't get to enjoy anything. Although that's a very different justice system based on where you live in the world. Some countries like Sweden treat prisoners like, yeah, losing your freedom is the punishment. Some countries are like, yeah, being in prison, we want to make it as unpleasant as possible. And you know, the accent I'm using maybe tells you about where in the world that might be a thing. I think Arizona is really famously harsh on prisoners. Technically in the South. Anyway, so one of the hardest things about killing people, outside of all of the moral implications, is actively how do we decide to kill them? The easiest way would be, oh yeah, there's a man who's employed who has to stab you to death or something. And it's like, oh, but if we did that, no one wants to feel like they are causing someone pain. You wanna have the least painful death possible for a prisoner, so that the death is the punishment and not the circumstances of the death. But if you look at most methods of execution, they're pretty hard to, they fall into one of two camps. Either they rely on an executioner to do too much, or it's bad. If you think about the guillotine. For some reason it's a certain type of political person is like, yes, let's get the guillotines out again. It's like, no, if you are an empathetic person, you don't want to see anyone, even the worst person. You don't want to see Mussolini's head cut off by a guillotine. That's gonna scar you, you know. Humans aren't meant to see each other's heads detached from their bodies. Hot take. You're not going to enjoy it. Is my basic point. And so yeah, if we detach the human head from the body, okay, so let's go and then go and then go. Oh no. Yeah, that's pretty good. If we detach the human head from the body, it's kind of traumatizing to look at. So it's okay. So also, as the executioner, you dropping this blade meant his head fell off. You did that. It's kind of scarring. So eat something. You're getting unhinged. I think I'll finish the stream when I eat something, or I'll eat something when I finish the stream. I think that's the logical way to do it. Injection is the most humane way, I think. So yeah, the solution that we have invented, literally it's some states in the US. I don't want to take any blame. I think most people can't make a moral argument for the death penalty. We can just make a what's the word? A preventing bad things from happening, a deterrent. You can make a deterrent argument towards the death penalty. The death penalty is so bad, and the way we do it is so bad that you really don't want to commit crimes. You might be about to do something. If you think about it, it's the same way you get people not to kill police. Killing police would be the easiest way out of a crime, but when you kill a police officer, you invoke the wrath of the wider police force, and so killing a police officer is not a smart decision. And so you basically have to make the punishment worse for it. And so what's the worst punishment we can imagine for some crimes? Well, losing your life, right? But so yeah, the easiest the way that is very commonly done now to be painless is lethal injection. But my God, look at the way lethal injection goes, and I think being killed by lethal injection, I would much rather eat myself to death or like bite my tongue out and bleed to. I feel like it seems horrifically painful. You're just not like I think everyone has this fear of like, what if you're in a coma, but you're fully aware, but you just can't say anything? I think that's basically what it's like to die by lethal injection. I could be wrong about that. Or, you know, my worst fear is like, what if when you die, you don't actually die in your head, your soul or your spirit or whatever exists, but you can't communicate because your brain can't move. That would be horrifying, right? It'd be something shocking. Oh, I can't. I have to do this. Oh, isn't there something satisfying about that, chat? It's beautiful. That elevator, damn, is so cool. Thank you very much, Hollow Heretic. Glad you think so. Okay, so let's now climb up here. We're going to drink a water-breathing potion, and we're just going to place as many sand blocks as we can broadly along a grid through here to make it really easy to sponge and drain, should we want to. There are some poisons that kill you painlessly and very quickly. Or I'm the only thing that I genuinely believe is painless. I know this from when I was like 14 looking up suicide. I think carbon monoxide. Like you don't know that you're dying from it. And I think being shot too. I think if you get shot in the right part of the body, I think it's the mouth. You don't even know that you're dead, which is horrifying in its own way. But it's like, what's the best way to die? Well, not knowing you're going to, right? I don't know. Also, I think drowning in a water tower is definitely the most lonely way to die. Oh yeah, don't tell me about all the worst ways to die, chat. Let's not do it. Let's. So a more happy subject. What does everyone think about pizza? Isn't pizza good? Doesn't it taste delicious? Yeah, I feel like gas chambers of nitrogen. They use that in my home state. I don't think that makes it good. You know, that's not the biggest endorsement. Also, Toycat, I'll beat you in time draining the Ocean Monument in 1 day. You should do it. Stream got dark fast, says Daniel Temney. I think, you know, to finish the very first tangent I started this video for, I think having a deep discussion, like having the discussion you can't usually have, is important. Usually people would be like, well, let's not talk about that because it can be unpleasant at the end. But I think having a discussion that has unpleasant results is important because we don't do it. And I think, you know, you ever have this idea? I read this on Reddit today, chat. The like kind of you know, physiological reason that we have more deep conversations late at night. Oh, this is a pain. The reason we have deep conversations later at night is because your body starts to release melatonin, which kind of like, you know, calms you out, mellows you out. And that is the entire reason that, like, you know, you have those like deep 1 a.m. conversations. And I thought that was fun. I figured I'd share it. It's entirely unverifiable fact at this point. Oh, I guess verifiable. We're not verified by me, that's for sure. Tacos. You know, it's Easter Sunday, so I think I am going to be literally eating Papa John's or something. Actually, no one seems to care about Easter Sunday. For better or for worse, I feel like it's basically just another day. You know, I'm going to say for better. I'm going to say it makes things much better. But yeah, we're just going to slowly drain out more of the underneath of the Ocean Monument. Oh, we can't drain that block out. That's a bad idea. So let's go right back in here, and let's start laying some more sand lines. So now we've done a big line going that way. Let's do a big line going this way. We'll just slowly but surely get the whole thing under control this way. It's going to be great. Also, fish tacos and a milkshake, or, you know, Bob King, I see you and my stomach are mortal enemies. And you're counteracting the melatonin my poor body is trying to produce. Yeah, that is actively what I am doing. I'm doing my best. Hopefully. Isn't it more of a thing for Orthodox Christians? I'm not Orthodox or a Christian. Wait. Yeah. I'm on the... You know, we don't talk about religion here. Okay, so let's go get the rest of the sand and let's place it in here. Unless I got the rest of the sand already. But I feel like I did. Yeah, I need to remove the rest of that sand. Man, it's a big project. It makes you realize that every single little part of a draining project comes with another, like, dozen parts to deal with. That you've got to be thinking about. So I'll just place a torch over here. I'll do a little fly over to that if I can. No, I cannot. And we're good. It's a very unusual year in that Catholic and Orthodox Easter are on the same day. What is Orthodox Easter? What sort of a made-up holiday are we talking about here? Oh, I love anchovies. Oh, I love anchovies so much. Chat, what do you think about anchovies? I feel like I used to think I didn't like anchovies. It feels like a topping that you wouldn't like. Like, as a kid, I'd never tried them, but I was like, oh yeah, anchovies, they're not good. It's fishy, and everyone says they hate them. So why would I like them, you know? What makes me so special? And the answer is lots of things make me so special. I would hope to believe. Okay, so I'm going to swim up through this water here. Okay, there we go. And in we go. Okay, let's start placing some sand back here too. Oh, I didn't get the sand. I need the sand if I'm going to place the sand. Sadly. Okay, so we're going to get out there and come back with a bunch of sand from the big wall. And, yeah, Orthodox Easter, it's Easter for Greek Russians, Orthodox Christians. Why do they have their own Easter? Do they have their own version of Jesus? Have they been working on my Bible 3.0 idea? I might have to pursue legal charges if so. You know, I can't just be giving out my best ideas, you know, to freeload it. Terrible. Okay, so let's pick up some sand. It's not a lot of sand, but like these are big piles, so should get me something going. And then I'll also remove, I think I've got a random wool hanging out over here. Yes, I do. So let's remove all of this. A few torches here or there will do that great. In fact, let's just shovel it the whole way through. Shovel this whole wall down. Get a whole bunch more sand. And now, every time we remove a wall, we should just be able to knock down a few torches. Every time we remove a wall, we'll get more sand, which we could do to make more project. Yeah. Okay, so like this strikes me as a section of like we could do that easily here. Place some sand. Once we're done placing the sand, just immediately put a sponge down. And as we slowly lower the surface area of these, okay, so it's dark. Placed a lot of sponges there, but now I can see again, which is great. Place some torches down, and it's even better. Place some torches here even, and nice. Okay, so we're making some real progress on Under the Monument. I didn't think I would ever do this, chat, but I'm glad I am. I think it's adding a little bit of depth to the project in a way I enjoy. Different calendar. Oh, it's the different... Okay, so they believe Jesus died on the same day, but they disagree about when that day is in the modern calendar. Man, the calendar thing, I cannot believe... You know, it's the most common, like, thing people don't like about, like, Yeah, it's the most common thing people don't like about basically any standard. Is like you try to make a standard for something, and then everyone tries to make a standard for something, so then there's just a bunch of standards and none of them are actually standard. If that makes sense. Okay, so let's swim in through here. Oh, what's happening, chat? Okay, I've broken something. I found a bug. I'm very proud of myself. I'm gonna swim quickly. I'm gonna use the last of my air to make some sand back here. So I want to build a big wall, presumably from there to here. So I'm running out of oxygen, chat. I'm running very badly out of oxygen. I think I'm just going to have to make my own oxygen. Let's do it. Okay. I think I did a decent job there. Yeah, probably as good as I can do. And it now gets me a bunch more sand that I can use for some stuff. So this is definitely a shovel job, not a torch job. Just wanted the torches in general. I don't like regular cake, but I love cheesecake. Okay, you know what? Thank you, Riggins Rally Girl, for bringing us back to a thing. Also, I want to build a big wall. Man thinks he's the U.S. president. You know, how is the build a wall thing going? Like, I know, like, it's the funny thing about being a politician is you just have to give people a bigger issue to worry about. Like, no one's worried about a wall when people are dealing with the idea of, like, the fundamental existence of, like, you know, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization or whatever. Yeah, like, is the wall, like, you know, does he talk about it still? Or does he, like, quietly hope that everyone's so busy on his new project they forget about his old one? You know, that's my plan when it comes to Sky Glue chat. I hope everyone's so busy focusing on my new series. By the way, I think we worked out the name is going to be Semi-Hardcore. Very, very high quality name. Yeah, cakes are terrible, but cheesecake is amazing. Okay, you know, I think I found my people again, chat. This is the exact correct opinion. It is rare to hear correct opinions on the internet. People love having the wrong opinion on the internet. It's their favorite thing. But having the correct opinion, now that's a hard one. So, yeah, with that said, chat, I think I am gonna go and, like, microwave a sausage or something. He only talks about deportation. Yeah, is that like a clever way to be like, look, I'm doing something better than a wall? Do people, like, get into the metaphysical debate about, like, what is a wall? Yeah, it's interesting, right? Also, are you going to be part of the Reforge Pioneer program, or do you get the game early due to your loyalty to Forge Abe? Says Ash. I don't know. I hope the second one. That'd be nice, right? Loyalty's a funny word, though. But, you know, I'll take it if that's the word they want to use. I would take it. Cheesecake is great, and so is brownies. Yeah, that's a good opinion right there, Dana. Okay, so I'm gonna now that I've drained this whole little section out, I can walk round, and oh, I know where okay, so this is incorrect. We need to now break out a little hole like here. I'll just make it too high, and then I'll start placing the sand. Gonna be a whole pain, but at least I've got the wall there to come out if I need to. So just every now and then, we take a little break to where the oxygen is. Right here looks great. And we're good. Do you think Vibrant Visions will be an experiment in 1.2180 update? Are we going to have another full pause situation again? Oh, actually can be. I would be very... not certain. I think it's quite likely they don't put it in a... as an experiment in a retail version of the game. Because I think they want everyone to start playing with it at the same time. I could be wrong about that. I think I've been wrong before. It's really hard to tell. Like, Mojang has no consistent pattern for what is behind a toggle and what is not. But there's quite a few things that stay preview only, like editor mode and the render dragging features were the same. So if it's been staying as a preview thing only forever anyway, who's to say that it won't continue to stay? In fact, I think that's the most likely prediction you can make there. That's just my fault, though. Bring back the furnace minecart. Exactly, Vera. Pizza crust is good. Okay, we've worked out what David had for Easter. Pizza crust. Man, I love pizza crust so much. I think I want some pizza crust, chat. Yeah, I made the mortal mistake of streaming while hungry today. But despite that, I've had a great time, chat. I hope you have as well. It's a bit of a short stream. I was planning on streaming early, but I went and hung out with you know, the people I met yesterday again. Again, they were all fun to be around. I enjoyed it a lot. So let's fall down here. Let's jump and let's go. So break this, break that. Then oh no. There's so few left to get. Okay, I'm gonna do a firework run, chat. Let's do it. So I'm gonna fly this way, break it. Then I have to fly back. Except now I'm at this height, so it's going to be way easier. Break it, break it. No, can't get it. I got a decent number of sponges, though. And still, yeah, this place is very, very drained, I would say. We had Easter brunch earlier, but nothing since. Chat, what have you had for Easter? Tell me about your Easter meals. Get me Easter food, you know, hungry, horny. Tell me about it. David had an arrangement with someone who eats the pizza and leaves the crust for him. You know, I've got to say, bad pizza crust is bad, but good pizza crust is like the best part of the pizza. Oh no, I still didn't get the last sponge. Can't believe that. Terrible. You know, I think I'll just stack up. I already have to remove this anyway. My pizza delivery guy asked me to rate him 5 stars, but Oba only had likes and dislikes. Fake like he was making an old YouTube joke. Your pizza delivery guy must be an IBX Toy Cat subscriber. I had a Popeyes chicken sandwich. Oh, Popeyes. That's an interesting one. I feel like Popeyes is like better KFC, but still has too many downsides from KFC. That's my hot take. If I may have one. I feel like you know, they get a lot of love, like they're good. I don't know that they are though, chat. I don't know that Popeyes is any amount remarkable. Okay, so let's climb out here. Let's put a sand block back there just to make things easy. Let's break and take the rest of these with us. And just like that, chat. Let's now look at the progress. Let's take a moment to appreciate what it is that we've done. We went from having a monument that you could barely see the back to and had a bunch of sand to now it's fully drained except for the underneath. Damn it, this is one of those projects where no matter what I do to it, it's always like, yeah, might take another stream to truly finish this one. But isn't that part of the glory? Maybe it is. Maybe it is not. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna get back into semi-hardcore this week, chat. And yeah, I think I'd like to do one of these survival and chill streams, but like super long. I don't have the energy for that right now. I'm gonna go and eat. It's 10 p.m. and I've just eaten breakfast and Easter egg chocolate. My body is telling me it needs things, and I'm saying no. My subscribers, they need to have more me. But I hope that you've had enough me. And if you haven't, consider checking out Seed Sunday or Q&A Saturday, because I have been IBX Toy Cat. I think there's a Let's Play out tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Oh. Good night, everyone. Hopefully that yawn gives you the melatonin that you need in your life. Yeah, look at it. That's cool. I think that first bit right there is probably the bit we could have made the biggest dent in, like, visually, if we'd have done something. Also, I think the window should have been a different shape. It should have been, like, monument triangle. Yeah, it should have been, shouldn't it? Well, I have regrets. Hopefully you don't have too many yourself. Also, I should have ended the stream when my wet sponges dried. That's another regret. Life is